One of the best spots is at the conferences. If you are at those, we have like a lunch table that we do pretty much every time. So, swing by at the lunch table and introduce yourself that you're new, and we can get you in there as well.
Is there any special handshakes or qualifications somebody needs to have to come?
No, but you know what? We actually should create something like that. That's kind of
You really should, like a secret.
Yeah. Like one of those rock, paper, scissors, high five, jump to the left. This episode is brought to you by CSG. CSG's SaaS solutions optimize every step of the tolling journey, from billing and payments to customer engagement, helping agencies maximize revenue through smarter, more integrated experiences. Make more, save more, and do more. Visit csgi.com.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Toll Talk. I'm one of your hosts, Kaylee Jakovics.
And I'm Alex Ficari.
And today we have a very special guest, Sophia Currier, who is the UX manager at RideFlag Technologies, as well as the Career Growth Chair of the IBTTA YPC, which is also known as the International Bridge Tunnel Turnpike Association Young Professionals Council. So that's a mouthful, but Sophia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, well, we'd love to start to get to know our guests a little bit better. If you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, background, how'd you get to RideFlag, and even to the chair?
Yeah, thank you. So I went to school at the University of Toronto, and I did my undergraduate degree in business. And then I kind of segued into user experience design through a master's program. So I have a master's of information, but I specialized in digital design. And so that's kind of how I landed at RideFlag, through a partnership with the university, doing user experience design or app design specifically at RideFlag for the tolling industry. So it's kind of, it was an interesting path to get there, I guess. I kind of fell into the tolling world, but I've always been passionate about design and, helping others, specifically older adults as well. So I've kind of gone through that process throughout, my whole schooling journey, from high school to university, master's program, and now through my career.
Yeah, well, we love hearing your background with the design. With us being with Mojo, we're all about user experience, app design, web design, all of that. So that's very cool. I didn't know that that's what you went to school for. So, and you fell into the tolling world just as kind of we did, and now we're in that tight knit community.
So I have to ask, do you know? Did you ever read, or are you familiar with Jacob Nielsen's 10 heuristic? Okay, there you go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's like the Bible for designers. It's always a great resource to check on Nielsen Norman Group for sure, and definitely highlighted in my education.
Very good. Very good.
Well, I would love to hear a little bit. We want to talk about RideFlag and your position there, a couple things there, but then also get into the IBTTA YPC, because you're a young professional. You have a lot of amazing things that you're doing, but tell us, for those that may not know, what does RideFlag do?
Yeah, so RideFlag is an HOV occupancy app-based solution. So we verify how many people are in a vehicle. So you hold up your phone, kind of like a selfie style, and it counts the number of real faces in the vehicle. You can, everyone's heard the stories of, oh, there's a carpool dummy in the back seat, or like a mannequin trying to cheat the system. And so with RideFlag's technology, we use the AI to determine if you're a real person and actually eligible for carpool benefits on toll roads.
That's actually very cool.
That is pretty cool. Yeah.
So tell us about, you're the UX manager. I guess, tell us about your role. What does that encompass from kind of day to day?
Yeah, so day to day, I can say it's very different. I also manage different projects as well with clients directly. So it's great to have that UX experience, to be able to bring the knowledge and the background and even the customization choices to the clients directly. So with RideFlag's app solution, it's kind of branded how different agencies want it to be branded. So for example, with SRTA, the State Road and Tollway Authority in Georgia, they've branded it Peach Pass Verify. So it's kind of like a play on their Peach Pass Go apps. And so we've kept that same branding for each market, kind of playing off of what they already have. And the design aspect day to day is quite different. So each market is kind of different in what rules they want for their customers and how they want to give the benefits. And so our app is very customizable. And so my job is to, create new customizations or work with the customizations playing together of what the clients want and making sure that to a user using the app, it's an in and out experience. We kind of want you to be on the app as little as possible, which is what's different than most apps like, social media. They're trying to get users to stay on the app, but we just want a seamless, quick, painless, happy experience for our customers. So that's kind of my job to make sure that the feedback we get from our users and building new features is all incorporated and part of this whole holistic experience for our agency clients.
Okay, so it sounds like you're really using your UX principles to drive the customer experience. So putting the customer first. So I think it sounds like what I'm hearing from you. Would you say that that's been key to your success? Let's say, like in Georgia with CERTA, or like where else does that impact the innovation for RideFlag?
Yeah, so we definitely take into account what our customers say. So we do also have some internal testing groups and have done previous pilots in the past as well. We do a lot of testing ourselves, actually. So one kind of neat element, I think, as a designer and working at RideFlag, which is a smaller company, I actually use the product myself. So in my kind of testing environment, I can have this design idea and our developers can build it, but does it really work and how we intended it? Or how do the users actually use it, right? So people can come up with all these different things that you might not have expected or intended. And so incorporating all this feedback from the end user, the people using the toll roads every day, but also our customers, and balancing those needs of what the agency needs in terms of an app and also what the customers are asking for and requesting. And so we are working on some new features to incorporate. Depends if the agencies want to use those and what they want for their customers as well, though, right? But it is fun and exciting and challenging to, work on different aspects and create new elements that have been kind of user suggested. So it's good to take those ideas and
Fun.
figure out what the real need is.
Yeah. And I guess, Kat, I mean, one, how long have you been at RideFlag, and what drew you to RideFlag? And then additionally, if you're are you a part of any like member organizations? Of course, I know you're with IBTTA, but any others that you also want to chat about?
So I think what drew me to Ride Flag was part of the sustainable aspect to it. So it is about carpooling. It's, to make the roads less congested by, advocating for carpooling and making it easier to get this benefit and making sure that the right people who deserve it get the benefit. So we try to mitigate the cheating potential um, from our product. And I know every agency kind of wants that, our roads to be used appropriately and increase that fairness aspect of the lanes for the carpoolers and the paying customers. So the carpooling sustainable aspect really, really drew me towards Ride Flag. I do also love working at a smaller company. My boss is amazing, Mike Papineau, who's our CEO. He really gives me a lot of freedom to kind of take on whatever I want to take on and pursue a lot of um, professional development and different projects as well, and really believes in me. So I appreciate that and really enjoy working for a company like that. You mentioned what other professional associations, if any. So I am working towards my PMP. I just need to write my exam. So I will be a part of that association soon. And that's kind of one thing that he's championed for me as well.
Oh, good. That's great to hear. I mean, that you love working for the company, the small business. I'm in your same shoes. Small company, and
And you like
I
working there,
like my
right? Oh,
boss.
okay. There we go. You
Yeah.
like,
Good,
yeah,
good.
there we go.
So that's exciting to hear. And I really feel like just, I've known you over the last couple years. I feel like you're really making waves, not just at RideFlag, but also, being the chair of part of the YPC, the Young Professionals Council with IBTTA. So it's exciting to see kind of, you growing over the past couple years and what you're doing on both fronts.
Now a message from our sponsor.
The business of tolling is complex. Trusted by the world's most respected brands, CSG transforms every customer interaction, communications, billing, payments, and more into a smarter, more profitable outcome. Make more, save more, do more. CSG, solving tolling's toughest challenges simply.
The YPC, the Young Professionals Council has been great, especially on my first conference. I didn't really know anybody. It was just me, and then my two bosses, who I'd say were maybe more seasoned professionals. And so it was great to be able to connect with some younger folks as well in the tolling community and kind of learn from them and learn what to do at conferences and how to network and who to network with and have that immediate community as well. Just that connection of being a young professional has been amazing. And so I've tried to really get involved with them by doing things like the conference planning committees, just being engaged as well on like the discourse channel or kind of putting myself out there at conferences and trying to meet people as well. It's been really helpful. It can be a little uncomfortable, I think, at first,
Yeah.
but once you get over that hump, then you have some friends in the industry, and then it's way less scary. So
Yeah, and it's less intimidating for sure. Like, I mean, there's tons with IBTTA, there's tons of committees and things you can get involved with. But I think with the YPC, it's like, people that are the younger professionals and or new to the
Yeah.
industry. So it's like not as overwhelming. And for those of our viewers that may not be familiar with YPC, can you give us kind of an overview of, what the group is?
yeah, so YPC is Young Professionals Council. It's a group where young people new to their career or new to a career in the tolling industry can kind of gather, and we just bridge that gap from the different generations of innovators in the tolling space. So YPC has a lot of events and opportunities where you can get involved in leadership positions and more involved in conference events. So I think the conferences are a really big part of IBTTA and attending those. So we kind of champion the young professionals who are in our industry and give opportunities to attend conferences or even things like webinars are great as
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel like, and I've seen that you have some upcoming, moderation, speaking engagements. Do you feel like being part of YPC and even, the chair for the career growth has helped you kind of propel you to put you in those opportunities?
Yeah, 100%. I think putting your name out in the ring for whatever is really great because they do like to support young professionals. And so if you put your name out there, then I've gotten a lot of these opportunities from being on the planning committees. They ask for moderators and you can kind of, I'll do it if no one else wants to.
Right.
So
I
yeah, that's
don't really
been
know what
great.
you're getting yourself
Yeah.
into.
Well,
Yeah.
and I want to kind of address like a misnomer about, young professionals. It's not necessarily age specific. It's, the next generation of thought leadership that we need in this industry. And I get really excited because I think you're absolutely right. There's a lot of support for that because we do have, as all we do in many aspects of our world, we have an aging population, right? Experience, wisdom that's been acquired, but it does need to be passed on. And I do love the fact that I think in this industry, maybe even than some others, like you really do see that willingness to pass that on, but it just can't be what I like specifically about YPC is that it's the purposeful action to ensure that takes place,
Yeah.
right? And I think it's honestly one of the most important committees in a lot of ways. I mean, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, no, I really do.
He's just trying to get in,
I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to be cool.
honestly.
No,
No,
I
I
just,
agree.
I think it is one of the most important ones
Yeah.
because
We're learning,
these
we're
roads are here for
growing.
hundreds of years,
Yeah.
not, 15, 20
Yeah.
years. Like this is a bigger, there's a bigger piece puzzle we're putting together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 100%. And so I am the chair of the career growth subcommittee, and I think there are a lot of opportunities that we can create for that knowledge transfer, even like upskilling, um, giving opportunities for folks to attend these conferences and network with these seasoned professionals, because a lot of that knowledge transfer happens in organic conversations, and especially with other organizations that you don't work for. You can learn a lot from somebody else and what they do just by, introducing yourself and asking what they do. I've learned a lot about the tolling industry for sure since attending many conferences.
So kind of what, and we talked about what drew you to RideFlag, but what drew you to, becoming, or maybe you were nominated. I know I was nominated as the membership chair for the YPC. So I want to hear kind of how you became chair.
Yeah, I kind of fell into the role, was nominated as well, like you mentioned, but I do think the career growth element is super important for young professionals and being intentional about that. So one of the things upcoming for the Denver annual meeting that we're having is some of these coaching calls for one, like how to submit an abstract, what are some tips, or for the trend talk or tech talk sessions you have to submit a video for an application, and what do those look like? How should I perform? So giving those kind of coaching call tips could be really beneficial for our young professionals to, one, get them that initial experience, or get over that initial worry of what do I even submit, and working on their idea to then become a speaker at an event like this, which is great to hear from young professionals. Oftentimes they're the ones kind of leading the projects, but don't necessarily get the opportunity to present on them. So I think it's really important to, champion that learning of getting into the conference circuit to be able to speak at these events as well. And I'm really excited about the annual event. Actually, I am a track lead for the Trend Talks or Tech Talks session, and we're doing something a little bit different. I don't want to, give it all away, but it's kind of more breakout style sessions rather than the traditional like PowerPoint TED Talk style. We still have some of that, but bringing, a fresh element and that collaborative nature where we do have opportunities for this networking and, ideas sharing more so rather than just a presentation. So I really encourage people to apply for that. And I'm really looking forward to all the conversations in there. I think one aspect about the breakouts is that you wish you could kind of join them all. Unfortunately, you can't.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm excited to see that. And for those that may not know, I guess like how did you or how can a young professional get involved as either, someone that is a lead or involved in sessions? How can they become a moderator or speaker?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, one thing that could initially kick it off is just being engaged in the young professionals Discord channel. There's a lot of back and forth in between the conferences there in our online community, which I think is amazing. So, even if you don't attend the conferences in person, there's still discussion around the webinars that are happening through IBTTA or even the subcommittees. So one great thing could be to join a subcommittee. So there's different subcommittees that you could join. So like Kaylee has the mentorship one, or sorry, the membership one. We're working to create some sort of mentorship program as well. I think that's a larger goal, and maybe not this year, but for the future. So I think that is really exciting as well. But definitely join a subcommittee would be my number one piece of advice, and throw your name in the ring to be a moderator. I think just go for it. And if you get selected, that's great. And it will kind of kick things off.
Yeah.
Sophia, I'm kind of curious. So since now your role and your participation in young professionals, have you seen any success stories? Have you seen somebody who's taken your advice, or maybe advice similar to what you're sharing now, that has seen a positive outcome? Have you seen some successes there?
Yeah, definitely. I think one person that I want to shout out, maybe not from my advice, but I think just from the advice of putting, herself out there, is Joanne Boyle at Via Plus. I think it's been great to kind of see her flourish in her roles. She moderated one of the YPC sessions with the IBTTA president at the tech event this past year, and that was an amazing event. And I think she's really come to her own. And she actually, funnily enough, is the other track lead. We're co-track leads for the Trend Talk sessions for the Denver event. And I have seen a few other YPC members, newer members, really join the subcommittee, the career growth subcommittee. I want to shout out Desmond from Transcore as well. I think he's kind of really joined and then taken it with a punch and running for it. So I think that's been great as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, Sophia, what should somebody do if they're interested in joining YPC? Really in participating in the programs, like what's the first thing that they should really go do? And is it too late? Is there a certain time of year? Maybe demystify that a little bit to maybe somebody who thinks it's a little intimidating or not really sure where to go.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I will say it's never too late to try something new for anything in life. But for YPC IBTTA in specific, you can join the mailing list. So it's right on the IBTTA website. We have a little subsection. The YPC has their own website as well. So you can see who like the leadership groups is, join the Discord on there, join the mailing list, and then do this little survey to get into the YPC.
Okay.
And engage yourself in that Discord community. I think there's also a LinkedIn group as well. And I think it's never too late. One of the best spots is at the conferences. If you are at those, we have like a lunch table that we do pretty much every time. So, swing by at the lunch table and introduce yourself that you're new, and we can get you in there as well.
Is there any special handshakes or qualifications somebody needs to have to come?
No, but you know what? We actually should create something like that. That's just kind of
We really
fun.
should, like a secret.
Yeah. Like one of those like
Yeah.
rock, paper, scissors,
Yeah.
high five, jump to the left.
We have like a code word too.
Yeah. There
we
you
should
go.
do that.
Special, like a
Yeah.
speakeasy knock or something like
Now, I
that.
can
Yeah.
say to all of the members of YPC, I feel like we're very welcoming group. So again, like if you see some type of young professional, or we do have events as well at each conference, if you will. So we typically will have like a social, and then we'll have a like one or two dedicated just like YP sessions as well. So if you're interested, look out for that on the ibtta.org website, and then the young professionals is ypcouncil.com. ypcouncil.com. I had to double check that. So and that's where kind of Sophia is talking about. You can go in and learn more, get on the mailing list, and then hopefully join a committee as well. Anyone's welcome to join the Discord channel, as you were mentioning. So
Even me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have seasoned professionals in there as well. We don't discriminate. We don't discriminate. So, but yeah, and even if you want to get on the email list as well, so you can kind of see some of our upcoming events. We like to keep people updated as conferences come along.
So Sophia, as we start to kind of wrap up, I'm just kind of curious if, as you reflect on your journey that you've been going down, I mean, what is the most rewarding aspect of your involvement with YPC and in your career so far?
Yeah, I think one of the most rewarding things has been, reconnecting with the people that I've met, 4 years previously at each conference that I go to. So that has been amazing. The first one I went and I didn't know anybody and tried to put myself out there. And now I know that I'm going to arrive at these events and see people in the hotel lobby and give a big hug. It's almost like you're instant friends, right? You make these great connections with people. So that has been super rewarding to just build my network and have all these people that I can know will return year after year to these conferences and always see a familiar smiling face. So that's been super rewarding.
I love that. I feel that as well. If you had advice for a young professional that was going to join an organization such as IBTTA or any others, I mean, what advice would you give?
Yeah, I think one kind of big piece of advice is just pushing through that bit of uncomfortableness to then get to those smiling faces. So really put yourself out there. I think in terms of opportunities, you really need to champion yourself as well. Like it's great to have people who support you, but you can work to advocate for yourself. The worst thing that somebody's going to say is no. So you might as well put yourself out there. And if they say no, then you're in the same position. But if they say yes, then you have a new opportunity and you kind of created that for yourself. So I really would urge people to put themselves out there, even though it can be uncomfortable, because there could be, huge gains in the future for them.
I love
Okay.
that. Yeah. Got to
Yeah.
make yourself uncomfortable to grow,
Yeah.
which we were just
Yeah.
talking about that actually.
And is there anything can you maybe kind of leave us with this thought of what does the future for YPC look like?
Oh, great question. I think it will be really interesting how the different main kind of cohorts of YPC evolve and age as well. So I am by no means like a founding member, but there are people who have come before me who are these founding members who I now can look up to and see what their careers look like, who are a little bit older than me. And then I joined in, I think it was 4 years ago. And so, as I age and progress in my career, it'll be interesting to see where the kind of core group of people who are in the mix in the YPC right now will end up in their careers, and even the people who will come after us who are newer to the tolling industry as well. So it will be really interesting to see the evolution of this different generations, I guess, of folks who are in YPC and how they evolve and continue to innovate in this tolling space. There is a big aging workforce right now, and so I think that knowledge transfer will be super important, and to have that mentorship of these folks who've been in tolling a long time, and then as we age out of the YPC and become these seasoned professionals, hopefully we can continue to champion opportunities for young people, because they really have so much knowledge to give and fresh perspectives.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. I never thought that far ahead. It was like, oh, well,
You're
eventually we're
aging
going to
out.
be this
You're aging
seasoned
out.
professional. Not yet.
Yes. No, you're there.
I know. Well, we want to thank you
Yeah.
so much for sharing. We love learning more about RideFlag and hearing about the YPC, and hope to have you on again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say, for my last kind of shout out, it would be to you guys. So at my first IBTTA event in Austin, Texas,
Oh,
our booths were right beside each other. And so you guys would have been kind of one of the first people that I would have met at the conference, I guess. So
yes.
it's kind of like a full circle moment here.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do
Yeah, I
remember
do
that. And
know.
that was maybe our second conference, but we
I
were
don't
still
remember,
pretty
yeah.
new at that point in time.
Yeah.
So I do remember we had a conversation. I met your boss, and it was nice to have a young professional there. So
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
that shout out. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. And we definitely want to thank you so much, Sophia, for coming and joining us today. It was fantastic learning about you, RideFlag, as well as the young professional group, and just kind of know what the opportunities are there for them and anybody who's looking to make their way in this industry. So
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us today. And we also want to thank all of our viviewers
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
joining us again today and for another great episode. And don't forget, we have Colorado coming up in the near future. And I don't know if you're going to international or any of the other events that you're going to, but if you're new, you should definitely reach out to the young professional group and then say, hey, I'm here and I'd like to get involved. So make the most of this time, right?
Yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Toll Talk. I'm Alex Ficari.
And I'm Kaylee Jakovics, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.